Hi guys, welcome back. This is Mark Davis, Optimum Technology Transfer. Hope you're all well. This is part 2 of my conditional formatting trilogy videos here on YouTube. In the previous part we looked at some basic conditional formatting that went something like this. I highlighted my population density figures, click conditional formatting, choose data bars, and I chose, for example, a blue solid fill, one of the presets that we've got available to us. And as the tooltip tells us, let me just hover over the conditional formatting button. Conditional formatting allows you to easily spot trends, patterns in your data using bars and colors and icons, for example, which is what I'd like to look at next. It's this whole kind of dynamic way of formatting cells. As I mentioned in that previous video, if I make some dramatic change to one of the numbers here, because it is conditional formatting, it's very dynamic, and of course all of the data bar changes as a result of that one change to the Netherlands population, for example, but I'll just undo that for the moment. But what about icons, flags, moons, various other icon sets that are available? So what I'll start by doing, reselecting my range of cells, I'll clear the rules from those selected cells. I'll go back to conditional formatting, I'll go to icon sets, and I'll choose the series of flags, green, yellow and red. Click and select. Let me just click away for the moment. So you've got the red flags for very low numbers, green flag for high numbers. Excel kind of uses its own internal rules to determine almost what's to what, and we've got yellow flags kind of in the middle there somewhere. Now if you did want to change those default settings that Excel is using, so let's say for example in our particular case we want to kind of reverse. I want red for high and green for low and yellow again in the middle there somewhere. Let's reverse the icon order. So I've selected my cells, back to conditional formatting, back to manage rules, and I will double click in the conditional formatting rules manager the rule that I want to modify or edit in some way. So let me just double click there, we're back to it. Okay, so we can see in this bottom half, we can see the values by default, pretty much 2/3 and 1/3 there, for example. Yeah, so 67% and 33%. So I could change those values if I wanted to. That's really entirely up to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to here pretty much slap bang in the middle of the dialog box, reverse icon order. Click on it, click OK, click apply. We can see it there happening. I'll just close and click away. Yeah, so red flag for high, green flags for low, and again yellow for kind of middle-ish figures there somewhere. So that's icon sets, and once again guys, if I just select those cells, scroll back up a little bit, there's just so much more kind of going on here. If I clear rules from the selected cells, conditional formatting, top bottom rules. What about above average, for example? If I click above average, I can already see it happening in the background. Yeah, there's one of the presets. I click on the drop down, I click and select custom format, and I decide I would prefer to have a font color of some kind. So let's say for example red. Yeah, click OK and click OK. Or I go back in conditional formatting, top bottom rules, below average, drop down, custom format. Let's make it some kind of green. There we go, there's a lime or a bright green color there, for example. Click OK and OK, and there we go. We've got red for high and green for low, for example. Now if I highlighted once again these figures, went back to conditional formatting, manage rules, I can modify the rules. I mean, this is quite interesting, I guess here. Below average, above average. What about if it was exactly average? Well, if I double click my below average, I can choose to have, if I wish, equal or below. I think I'll actually do that and click OK, for example, and click OK once again. Now, there is just so much you can do with conditional formatting. Again, just to make it very, very obvious, very, very clear indeed, I'll make a change to the population of Sweden. Again, I'll just up it by a factor of, add a 0 on the end there, press return, and of course the Sweden population density figure is now red. Let me just Control Z to undo that once again. Again, if you so wish, you can always go back. You don't need to use these kind of inbuilt defaults, these inbuilt presets, so you can always go back. Do it at the beginning, get into doing it, use a preset, and then go back to conditional formatting, manage rules, and play around with your own values, your own colors, your own formatting. That's it for part 2 of conditional formatting, guys. In the final part of my conditional formatting trilogy, what we'll be having a look at is formatting whole rows based upon a conditional formatting, a really cool conditional formatting rule that I'm going to talk about. But that's in part 3. That's it for this particular video, guys. That's it from me, Mark Davis, from Optimum Technology Transfer. Do search Optimum Technology Transfer in the search box in youtube.com and check out my other videos. Take care and bye bye.